There are those that say Trump has been paid off by Qatar, the big 747, among other things. Maybe that's why he keeps giving in to everything Qatar wants. Qatar, the sponsor of Hamas, the funder of Hamas, and the people that supply refuge for Hamas. We've got IDF Captain Yair Pinto here to give the Israeli perspective and what could be going on inside Trump's mind right now, because I can't explain it. I wonder, I've spent a lot of time and I've done a number of segments, I mean, dozens, on this 20-point peace plan where literally we're still on step 1 and 2 right now. I mean, it hasn't advanced at all after the tremendous publicity that Trump received when he came to Israel, where I know he's amazingly popular. He could run for prime minister in Israel on just the Make Israel Great platform and would probably win. And yet the peace plan doesn't get out of stage 2. As you mentioned earlier, Yair, we're still waiting for the 20 remaining hostages to be released. I believe there's 13 more, 2 of which are Americans. And yet, other than threatening Hamas, it doesn't seem like anything is happening to push it forward. Let's just assume hypothetically that Qatar decides to get involved and force Hamas to give up the remaining hostage bodies. And then the next steps will come about, which concerns complete disarmament. They have to give up the weapons. They have to give up the attempt to be involved in running Gaza now and in the future. Israel and the United States have given them free passage and amnesty to leave. Can that plan succeed when you have Qatar as the lead mediator? And everybody knows, at least people that are paying attention, Qatar has been funding Hamas. Qatar has been directing Hamas. And Qatar has been providing sanctuary for the leaders of Hamas. And yet, they're the best friend of the United States, according to our president. He meets with the prime minister, the emir, and he tells them how great friends they are. He says that we have a defense treaty now with Qatar, and we're building them a base in the United States for their Air Force. I don't understand what's going on. It's like, you said it earlier, up is down, black is white, right is wrong. I don't understand. And I'm an American with contacts in Washington. I don't know what's going on. How do you see this succeeding?
Well, I think that it's succeeding because all the parties have something to gain from this agreement succeeding, or something to lose if it doesn't succeed. So at the moment, I think that the turning point with Qatar was when Israel launched the assassination attempt on their soil. So they felt violated and they needed the United States to kind of help them put Israel back in its place and contain the Israeli Air Force, because they felt that Israel was doing whatever it wanted on their soil. So that was kind of a big turning point in the relationship with Qatar, and in the fact that the United States stepped in to protect them and placed them back into the seat of the major mediators. But since then, things changed. On top of Qatar, you have Egypt, that are now wanting to be a big part and a big partner in the Trump peace plan to rehabilitate the Gaza Strip, to make sure that Hamas is not in charge. And again, it's not because they are friends with Israel. It's all about interests. Their interest is that the Muslim Brotherhood and that Hamas will not become stronger on their northern border, which is the Gaza Strip. They don't want Hamas to regain its control because they're afraid of the Muslim Brotherhood within Egypt. Same thing goes to Jordan. And we also see another huge country that are trying to get involved in this agreement, which is Turkey. But here the interests are not aligning with Israel, because Turkey has voiced multiple times in the past 10 years already their anti-Israel agendas and their attempts at regaining military control in the Middle East. So Israel vetoed any kind of presence of Turkish forces on the ground in the Gaza Strip. But yes, Qatar is a very interesting player. They are playing the long game. They are investing in changing the minds of university students in the United States. In Europe, they are buying what's it called? Soft power. They don't have a big military. They don't have a big air force. but they have a lot of money and they're investing it wisely to have control over the minds of the next generations in the United States and in Europe. So we need to be very careful, and by we, I mean especially the United States of America, who we're dealing with, because Qatar are not stupid. They are smart. They have patience. That's the difference between democracies and dictatorial regimes. They can afford to play the long game, 20 years, 25 years of planning, of investing. And unlike a democratic country that has a 4-year term, maybe 8 years if the president is reelected. So this is something that we need to be wary of, and we need to watch out what happens underground. But as long as Israel maintains its security control in Gaza, and I think this is something we learned that we must do in every situation and not allow any kind of international players to try to protect us, because it doesn't work, then we'll be safe and it's gonna be good. But we need to watch out from getting involved with some of these players.